What if I told you that the most powerful secret society in history might be staring at you every single day? From your wallet, not in a hidden basement, not in a classified vault, but printed openly in currency, carved into monuments, embedded into architecture across the world. And the real question isn't whether the symbols are there. The real question is why. For centuries, humanity has been fascinated and disturbed by the idea of secret societies. Among them, one name refuses to die: the Illuminati. Founded in 1776 in Bavaria by Adam Weishaupt, the historical Illuminati was originally a small group promoting Enlightenment ideals: rationality, anti-clericalism, intellectual reform. It was officially banned within a decade. So how did a short-lived 18th century society become the centerpiece of modern conspiracy culture? Because symbols outlive organizations. Let's start with the most famous one, the Eye of Providence. An eye enclosed within a triangle, radiating light. Today, millions of people carry it daily on US currency. On the reverse side of the Great Seal of the United States, the eye floats above an unfinished pyramid. 13 layers of stone, Latin phrases, date and Roman numerals, MDC, CLX, XV, I, 1776, the same year the Bavarian Illuminati was founded. Coincidence? Or design? Officially, historians explain that the eye represents divine providence, God watching over the nation. The pyramid symbolizes strength and duration. The unfinished top represents a nation still in progress. Reasonable explanations. But here's where it gets interesting. The Eye of Providence did not originate with America. It appeared in Renaissance Christian art centuries earlier. It also resembles the ancient Egyptian Eye of Horus, a symbol of protection and royal power. Across cultures, the all-seeing eye represents watchfulness, higher knowledge, surveillance. The continuity is what fuels suspicion. When a symbol survives civilizations, regimes, religions, and empires, it stops looking random. Now look beyond currency. Walk through Washington, D.C., stand above the city using satellite imagery. You'll notice geometric alignments, pentagrams, obelisks, compass-like layouts. The Washington Monument resembles an Egyptian obelisk. The Capitol Dome echoes Roman imperial architecture. Freemasonry played a documented role in early American leadership. George Washington himself was a Mason. Does that automatically prove a hidden ruling order? No, but symbolism in architecture has always been intentional. Ancient rulers encoded messages into stone. The pyramids of Giza weren't accidental. Gothic cathedrals weren't random designs. Geometry has always been used to communicate power, stability, divinity. So when modern capitals echo ancient empires, is it admiration or inheritance? The concept of secret knowledge is older than democracy itself. From the Eleusinian mysteries of ancient Greece to medieval alchemical societies, secrecy has always been associated with power, knowledge restricted to a few, rituals hidden from the many. That's what makes the Illuminati myth so powerful. It taps into a real historical pattern. Elites have always existed. What changes is the name. In the 19th century, anti-Masonic movements claimed hidden control of governments. In the 20th century, fears shifted towards shadow governments, intelligence agencies, banking dynasties. In the digital age, symbolism spreads faster than fact. Here's where you need to think critically. Symbols are powerful because humans are pattern-seeking creatures. We connect dots. They assign meaning, sometimes correctly, sometimes not. When you see an all-seeing eye in corporate logos, music videos, architecture, fashion, is it evidence of a global network? Or is it because the symbol itself has become culturally iconic? Take a step back. The eye symbol is visually striking, symmetrical, recognizable. Mystical designers use it because it works. Marketers use it because it intrigues. Artists use it because it provokes. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Even if there were no secret society today, powerful people absolutely coordinate. Not in hooded robes around candles, in boardrooms, private meetings, and economic summits. Influence doesn't require mysticism. It requires access. The idea of a hidden hand controlling global narratives is compelling because power often feels distant and opaque. Decisions affecting millions are made by a small number of individuals. That's real. But secrecy in governance does not automatically equal ancient occult control. Let's dissect another layer: architecture. Why do so many powerful institutions incorporate classical columns, domes, and monumental symmetry? Because architecture signals authority. Rome mastered it. The British Empire adopted it. The United States continued it. It's visual psychology. When you walk toward towering columns, you feel small. That emotional response is deliberate. That's not conspiracy, it's design. Yet the overlap between symbolism, power, and secrecy creates fertile ground for speculation. Speculation spreads. The internet amplified everything. A triangle in a music video becomes proof. A hand gesture becomes coded allegiance. A coincidence becomes confirmation. But here's a sharper question. Why are we so drawn to the idea that someone is orchestrating everything? Because chaos is terrifying. Randomness is unsettling. Believing there's a hidden architect behind world events provides structure, even if that structure is dark. It's psychologically easier to believe in a mastermind than to accept complex systems, economic incentives, geopolitical conflicts, and human error. Does that mean all secret societies are fiction? No. Groups exist. Networks exist. Elite gatherings happen. Think tanks influence policy. Intelligence agencies operate quietly. Financial institutions wield enormous power. But none of that requires supernatural symbolism or ancient bloodlines controlling destiny. The real power structure of the modern world is far more mundane and arguably more concerning. It's systemic. Corporations influence legislation, lobbyists shape laws, media conglomerates shape narratives, algorithms shape perception, data shapes behavior. That's not hidden in plain sight. It's openly documented. And yet the myth of the Illuminati persists because it's cinematic. It's dramatic. It's easier to package into a narrative of symbols and secret handshakes than spreadsheets and policy frameworks. So when you see the Eye of Providence, what are you really looking at? A relic of Renaissance theology? A Masonic symbol? A reused artistic motif? A coincidence of shared geometry? Or a reminder that power has always used imagery to project authority? Here's the balanced truth. Symbols do carry meaning. Elites do exist. Influence is real. Secrecy is real. But the leap from symbolism to omnipotent hidden rulers requires evidence, not aesthetics. If there were a global, unified Illuminati controlling everything, contradictions in politics, economic collapses, power struggles, and international conflicts would look very different. The world is messy because power is fragmented. Multiple interests compete. That's not a single unseen hand. That's many visible ones. The enduring legacy of secret society narratives tells us less about hidden masters and more about human psychology. We crave patterns. We distrust concentrated power. We question authority. We use symbols as anchors for those fears. But here's where it becomes interesting for you as a viewer. Instead of asking, is the Illuminati hiding in plain sight? Ask something sharper. Who benefits from you believing that everything is controlled by one hidden group? Because if you believe that, you stop analyzing real systems of influence. Stop studying economics. Stop questioning policy. Stop examining corporate consolidation. You replace complex reality with a single villain, and that's intellectually comfortable. The real decoding of global symbols isn't about uncovering secret hand signs. It's about understanding how imagery shapes perception, how architecture shapes emotion, how narrative shapes belief. The world's true architects aren't hidden in ancient temples. They're in institutions, corporations, governments, and digital platforms operating within systems we can study, critique, and influence. And that's far more empowering than believing everything is predestined by a shadow council. So next time you look at your currency, pause. Not because an unseen eye is watching you, because symbols remind us that power communicates visually. And once you understand the language of symbols, you're harder to manipulate by them. If this investigation challenged what you thought you knew, then you're exactly where you should be. Because questioning is healthy. But questioning without evidence is noise. Here at Uncover Discovery, we don't chase shadows, we dissect them. If you want more deep investigations that separate myth from measurable reality, subscribe now, turn on notifications, and drop your perspective in the comments. Coincidence, psychology, or deliberate design? The next symbol we decode might already be in your pocket. This time, you'll know how to look at it.